So today we're going to be working with an age calculator app. So it's going to be like this, just where you can enter your date of birth now. Okay, let's see it. 20. Okay, let's see your 2000 now, and you can enter the present date here, and today is probably 15th of May. That's 2024. So now you could just run this. Now you could see you're 24 years old. So this is how it's going to work, and this is how it's going to be. So you could just like, okay, let's make some few changes here. Let's make this here 2002. And let's see, you are 22 years old. So I'm going to create this now. So welcome to my YouTube channel, Code with Rex. Here I teach you basically Python, project-based tutorials on Python. And if you want to explore more with me, you want to see more things done with Python, more cool things you could do with Python, follow along. And now you can see that this age calculator is having a whole new UI design. We're going to be using a theme, and you're going to be using, you can see that all these designs are kind of bit different from what you have been doing before. That's if you have watched my previous tutorial. If you have not checked that, you can check them out. We have TK in tic-tac-toe with Tkinter and the rest. So that's cool. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to be doing as usual now is importing our modules. So we are going to start from importing ttkbootstrap. Okay, let's start ttkbootstrap. Import it as ttk. So let's have it like this, and from ttkbootstrap dot constant, we want to import everything there. So we want to import all the constants, and okay, now we're going to import datetime. So that's also a Python module built in datetime. Then from ttk, okay, from tkinter now. So from tkinter now, we want to import message box. So we have it like this, and the next thing we are going to do now is initiating our window, and we are going to have it like this. Window equals what? ttk dot window. So when we have it like this now, next thing I want us to do now is to set some of our basic title, styling, and geometry. So now we are going to have it like window dot title now. Let's have it as age calculator. Age calculator. Let's have it that way. So after now, what do we want to do next? We want to have a window dot no. Let's set our style first. ttk dot style. So this is actually our theme here, and let's have superhero style. Yeah, this is actually a theme that came with Tkinter. You can actually go into this file and view more of the theme that you can use. So we have window dot here. So let's have geometry. So window dot geometry now, we want to have, okay, let's have 400 by 370. So now we want to set all our variables. So let me just comment this here. Date. Let's have date to be an empty string, and let's have present date. So ttk dot string var. Okay, let's have it this way, and okay, we want to have p date. This is also for present day. So present day now, we want to have it as ttk dot string var. Present month, that's shortened by p months. So we want to have present here too. Okay. So we want to have DOP date. That's date of birth day. So we want to have, okay, date of birth months. Then we want to have date of birth. That's the year. So now I want to start by creating our frame, and we're going to have a main frame here, and I will name it main frame, and that's ttk dot frame. So ttk dot frame now. ttk dot frame now, we have to have it as a child of the window, and once we have it as a child of the window, that should be okay. So let's just, okay, let's have a width. Okay, let's just give it a width of 400 maybe, and height of the 372. So let's have it this way, and now we are going to pack this. Let's pack. So now next we want to have now is a label that have to show our title. So I'm just going to have title, and let's just have ttk dot label. ttk dot label now. So a child of the main frame. I want to set the text here now to age calculator. Okay, age calculator, and let's have a font here. Okay, let's say our font is, we have a font here, Seldon, and 25 size, and it should be bold. Okay, so let's have this way now. Let's have title.spark. Yeah, we show our window running on the main loop. So window.main loop. Let's have this, and let's try this again. Okay, so now we have this now, so we can continue building our H calculator now. And next time we continue from the calculator frame itself. So we want to have a frame now. I want to name it calculator frame. So we continue from there. So let's have a frame here. A calc frame, calculator frame now. Let's say ttk dot frame. So we have ttk dot frame now. Okay, we have it as a child of the main frame. Oh, it is a child of the main frame. Okay, and let's have the width to be set to. Oh, I think we don't need that for now. Let's just continue this way. So now let's pack this. Let's pack. I'd like to give this a pad y of 10. Let's see, I have a pad y of 10. Okay, so we want there to be space there. We want to have our label that is going to save birth date and current date. Let's have, okay, let's have it as birth date label. Okay, ttk.label, and let me go back to this. Actually, you can see this now. This is how TTK Bootstrap work. We can see this is our team, superhero team, and you will get along to see more things from it now. So let's go back to this. So now the label, now we want to have it to be a child of the calculator frame. Should it? Okay, let's make it be a child of the calculator frame, and let the text be equal to birth date. So now the text is birth date. So let's have the font. I want the font to be times. Then let's have the size to be 20, and let's have this to be bold. So birth date label here dots pack. Now I'd like to use grid format here. So dot grid. So set the row here now to 0, the column. So you should have the column here as okay, should still be 0. Then let's have a pad x here, and this pad x, we want the 10 to be at this other side, which means the first side will not be having this padding, but this other side will be having this padding. So I think that should work well. So let's just could copy this full thing and paste it here. So I have it like this. Current date label. Okay, so and here will be current date. So I think this should work well, but this will not be on column 1 now, and these are padding should be here now, and there should be no padding here. Okay, so I just like to name this present instead. Okay, so we have this now, present date. So we could run this and see. So now we can see it like this. So we have our birth date here, our present date here. So let's continue. So the next thing we want to do now is have our frame for the birth date and our frame for the present date. So I'm just going to call this DOB frame, date of birth frame. I'm going to have ttk dot frame again. We are just using a lot of frame today actually. Okay, I think that's okay. ttk dot frame, and let's make this be a child of the calculator frame, and DOB frame now dot. Okay, let's have it as a grid format, in a grid format too. DOB frame the grid, and we want to have this as row should be set to 1. That means it's going to be under this now. So the row is set to 1, and the column here should be 0. So now the column is 0, and one more thing here. I want to have my pad. I want to have my padding at both y and x axis, and let's set it to 10. Okay, so this should work well. So I could just copy this and boom. Yeah, I have a duplicate here. So now what do? This will now be present date now, but I just like to call it PD, present date frame, something like that. So, but now the column in our here is now 1, and I think there should be a change in our padding. Yep, in our padding there should be a change there. So here I don't want to like pad this x-axis on both sides. It wants to have it at 0 and 10 here. So yeah, we can't really see some changes here, but we will get to see it as we go on. Let's continue. The next thing we want to do now is our label. That will say day, month, year for both sides. So how to have DOB day label here, div label, and that will be ttk.label k.label. Okay, ttk.label, and it should be under the DOB frame. DOB frame, now we have it here. Should be under the DOB frame, and the font, okay, the text should be equals to day, and let's have the font size to be 12. I think that's okay. We don't want something bold. So let's have our style here, and this is somewhere else where this come in, where ttkbootstrap come in. So this font here now we have an inform, which is information. So let's pack this, but we're not packing, we're going to be using the grid format also here. So let's have the grid format here. So we're going to be setting a row here to 1, 2. So row equals to, okay, let's have it as 0. Row is equals to 0, then column here to is 0, and yeah, our padding on the y-axis. Padding on the y-axis. So I like it to be a tuple, and let's have it as, okay, a tuple, and it should be 5 here and 0 on this other side. So let's just, okay, we are going to duplicate this now some time. I'm going to like have it as, okay, let's have it as this, let's have it as this. So now this is, so I like to have this as, okay, let me just change this to month, same here, okay, month, and same thing here. Oh, you'll be, yeah, so and this will be month, yeah, okay, and this should be on row 1, row 2. So we could check this out and see what it looks like. Okay, now we can see the format at which we want it. So now let's have our entry. Yeah, we should have our entry now. So I'm going to create the first entry. I think I would like to create it under each of them. So let's have it as DOB the entry, ttk dot entry, okay, DOB frame, yeah, okay, DOB frame, okay, DOB frame here. So we have the entry as a DOB frame. Then I want the style here to also be form. And if you're guessing where this inform is coming from, is because from these constants, we have some constants sent here, and we imported them at the beginning of this module. So that's where the inform is coming from. If not, I meant to include this in quotation and in lower cases. So let's have the text variable, and we are setting this text variable to one of the variables we declared before. We declared before. So we have this text variable to be DOBD. Yeah, is here. So now let's put this into a grid format. So grid. You should be guessing that the row should be 0, but the column now should be 1. Yep. So the column is 1 while the row is 0. So I think we should have a padding 2 here. So let's have, okay, our padding should be here, should be 5 and 0, just like the other one. So let's duplicate these two for our month and year. This is DOB month. Okay, should be on second row. Yeah, the first row here. Yeah. So let's have the one for our year here. So let's clean this. So we have year. So and this should be on the second row here. So let's run this and see. So now we can see this exact format we wanted. So what we could do now is to copy the code we used to create this and just use it for this present side. So we are going to do that for the present side here. So the present was first we have to have the present data frame, and we add it here. So that's good to go. So just from this level here, copy it down, and let's just space some things out. So just like to rename all this to PD. So to have it as PD. So same as all these text variables. So PD. So yeah, I think this is alright. So now we are going to change this to PD frame 2. So PD frame, yeah. PD. So let's confirm this. It should be PD frame as present date frame, yeah. So let's run this and see what it looks like. Okay, PDD is not defined. Oh well, our text variable is present day, present month, present year. So now we can see it is now in this format. So we have this sorted out. So now the next thing we want to do now is to have our button. We want to have the button that will calculate this, but first let's have a frame that will contain the button. So let's just have button frame here. I'm going to have it as ttk.frame, frame. Let me just confirm if this is still recording. Okay, ttk.frame. So I have that ttk.frame here, and yes, we want it to be a child of the calculator frame. Yes. Okay, let's put as a child of the main frame here. So main frame, and I think that should be all for now. So the frame dot what pack. Okay, let's pack this. Yeah, that's okay. And let's just give it a padding on the y-axis of 5. So this is very good like this. Calculating button here, and this will be ttk.button. Wow, the first button we're having in this program, and we want it to be the frame of this. And now we want the text to be equals to what? Calculate. So now the text is calculate, and we want the style. We want the style to be equals to what? Info. So now the style is inform. I want the command. So we're here to create the function for this command. So let's leave that for now, and let's have our calculate button dot what? Pack. So let's see this, and we can see we have this pretty age calculator, but we would like to have a label that will be displaying the age. So we just have it as age label ttk dot label ttk dot label. I want to have it as a child of the mainframe. So our text initially should be set to an empty string. Let's have our font and size. Okay, let's have our tuple here, and let's have times. Okay, let's have 30. I think 30 should be okay. 30, and Let's make this bold. So the next thing we want to do now is, okay, let's have our style and let's make it success. Yep. So success. That's good. So let's have our age label dot back. So now it's time to have our calculating function here. Just like to create that somewhere around here. I just call it def calculate. And the first thing we want to do now is we want to get all our data from the entry. So we want to get like, okay, let me first have pass here. We want to get all the data inputted into these entries. That's the first thing we want to do. So how do we do that? So we call our variables, which is the dob day, and now we have our dob day entry dot get. So now we have our dob months, and we call our dob months entry dot get. Then we have our dob year. So we go to dob year tree dot get. Okay, now we have that too. So what's next here? So the next thing is now we have our present day, and because our pd day entry dot get, and we have our present month, and equals to what? Pd month entry dot get. Okay, and last but not the least, we have our present here. Okay, present here now, and is equals to what? Pd year entry dot get. So it's just like this. So now for us to show our message box, we have to put this in a try block error. So we just have our birth date here. But let me just show that as birthday, and let's have it as date time. Okay, dot date time, because we actually want to convert this into a date time data type. I want to convert this into an integer. This year, months, and others, because they are all string coming from that. So we have dob year. Then I want to have the month. Okay, I want to convert that also into int, and we have dob month. And now we want to have the day, dob day. So this is our birth date. So then I want to have the present date. Let's have that present day. And this will be date time dot date time. And let's have it as int. So once we have it as int here, we want to have, okay, present here. Okay, int also present month. And the last one here, int also present day. Okay, and now if this is a string, it won't be able to convert it into an integer, and if it is empty, it won't be able to convert it into an integer, and if it is made with string, it won't be able to convert it. So once we have this kind of error, what do we want to do? We want there should be a message for us, and that's why we have our message box dot what? Show error. And this should be the title of the window to be displaying. Let's have it as invalid date, and this should be the message now. Let's have it as please enter a valid date. Okay, so now let's do the actual calculation here, and let's have it as age equals to what? Present date minus birth date. We're able to do this because we've converted this into a date time format. So we can do that with date time format. And now age is equals to what? Let's convert this into a string. So we want to have int age dot days. So now we're converting this now. We are getting the days from here now. And what do you want to do with these days? Okay, we should still have some brackets here. What do you want to do with these days? I want to go through a calculation here, because this is coming with days and seconds. So I want to have it as age dot seconds too. So I want to add these two together. And once we do that, I want to divide it by what? 86,000. 86,400. And after this, I want to divide the full result by 365. That's how many days in a year? 0.2425. And this is representing the leap year we used to have. So once this is up to 1, that's like up to 4 times, it add up to be 1 for this. So we shall it this way. And now we want to call on the age label. I want to configure it. I want to have the text to be set to what? Let's say we formatted string here. You are well, this is all we need to do. So let's run this code and one more thing. Our calculator button here, we should have the command to be set to what? Calculate. So let's have this. So let's say someone on January 1st, 1999. And we have today to be, okay, today is 11th of May, 2024. Wow, you are 25 years old. Just as easy as that. So let's make this invalid. And now you can see invalid. Please enter a valid date. So you could just play around with this and let's see. Someone born in 1967. 57 years old. Can see how accurate this is. So thank you very much. This will be all for today. See you next time. Don't forget, if you like this video and you want to see more like this, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, subscribe to this YouTube channel.